Very good morning to all of you. Sanjay, Yogesh, Geet, everyone. So let me complete first rule 43, very small rule, and then we'll move to the other discussion. Rule 43 provide the methodology for apportionment of the ITC when if capital goods is being used for the business and non-business purpose and capital goods is being used for the taxable and exempt supply. So first, we need to determine the TC, total common credit, on the capital goods as under. Identify the input on capital goods for non-business purpose or making exempt supply. That is exclusively, like in the rule 42, we were determining same. And just quickly tell me, if the input are used or intended to be used for non-business purpose, then what is the nomenclature we are giving in the formula? T1, T2, T3, T4. अगर नॉन बिजनेस पर्पस के लिए यूज हो रहा है तो व्हाट नॉमेनक्लेचर और व्हाट we are giving? The answer is T1. And if it is used exclusively for making the exempt supply, then if it is used exclusively for making the exempt supply, then T2. What was the T3? Absolutely correct. T3 is the block credit under section 17.5. Then identify the input tax on capital goods exclusively for making the taxable supplies. Then what was that? T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. What was that? It is T4. Such amount will be credited to the electronic credit ledger. Identify the input tax on capital goods not used or not covered in the clause 1 and the clause 2, meaning thereby it is common credit. ठीक है, commonly for making the taxable supply including zero rated supplies and denoted same as A. Such amount will be credited to the electronic credit ledger. Useful life of the capital goods will be considered as 5 years. Where capital initially covered the clause 1, that is exclusively for non-business, yeah, exclusively for exempted, get covered subsequently in the clause 3, then it is commonly used. The same denoted as A in the credit ledger. Okay, simultaneously compute the ineligible credit attributable to the period during which such goods were used for business and non-business and exempted supply. That is 5% per quarter. That is denoted as TIE. Now, the capital goods initially were used for non-business purpose or initially were used as exempt supply. Subsequently, it being used for commonly. Then, for the initial period, we need to calculate in quarter or part thereof, and at the rate of 5% would be equivalent part, which is denoted as TIE, ineligible credit. Add such TIE to the output tax liability in which credit of capital goods is claimed. Add together the amount of A credited to the electronic credit ledger in respect of common capital goods whose useful life remain during the period to arrive at the TC, common credit. Now, whatever the total common credit you have calculated divided by 60, that will be the equivalent monthly credit. Apportion the monthly common credit attributable to the exempted supply. So that is multiplied by E divided by F. E is the aggregate value of the exempt supply and F is the total supply. Now these are the normally we have discussed. Add TE to the output tax liability along with applicable interest during the every tax period of the useful life of the capital goods concerned. So wherever it is written that add this amount to the output tax liability, in other words, we can say simply do the reversal in the GSTR 3B in the table 4B1. When you discuss the return chapter, in that GSTR 3B, you will find that there is a two rows 4B1 and 4B2 for the reversal of ITC. It is permanent reversal and it is temporary reversal. Permanent reversal, they have given the name. They have given the name as Rule 42, 43, 17.5 and block credit. So these are all about the Rule 43. Let me take the first one question we have discussed. I think Geet, you have asked one question, right? In the last class. That was your question. This was your question. So tell me, Sanjay, Yogesh, Geet, and everyone, what is your analysis? What is your answer? If you read the 18.1, what happened here? One second. If you read the 18 subsection 1, you will find the ITC would be available to the stock lying on the 31st August. Correct? And your turnover is cross threshold limit, then whatever the sales you will make from 1st September to 6th October, you will collect the tax or not? Will you collect the tax or not? Answer is yes, I will collect the tax. I will collect the tax. Because whatever the stock lying in my hand on the 31st August, equivalent ITC I will take by ITC 01. But from 1st September to 6th October, I am making the supply on which I am paying the tax to the government, and then obviously I would be entitled to claim the ITC. There is no ambiguity. Now you will not find for this period, you will not find the provision for this period how the ITC to be claimed. Because if you read 18.1, you will not have the clarity. But this is the point with respect to the law. Now, if you read the 31 subsection 3 clause A, concept of revised invoice, see, this example is about the ITC for the purchase, but the concept of the revised invoice is for the outward supply, for the sales. So if this person, whatever he made the sale from 1st September to 6th October, 5th October, he has issued the invoice, but that invoice will not be the tax invoice. That invoice will not contain the GSTIN of the supplier. Therefore, Therefore, from 6th October, within 30 days, 1 month, this person will issue again the revised invoice for the outward supply. Point to be noted. This will be for outward supply made by this person from the effective date of registration till the date of the registration. In my example, for September to 6th October, क्या करेगा वो? He will issue the revised invoice. By the revised invoice, this person would be entitled to report the same in the GSTR1 of September of October, and his recipient would be entitled to take ITC. There is no doubt. But 31(3)(a) concept of the revised invoice would be on sale, not on purchase. So therefore, in my understanding, ITC would definitely be available. There is no doubt about that. But I do not find any specific line item in any provision. The form would be definitely ITC 01 only, because there are only 3 forms for taking the ITC. ITC 01, 02, 02A. One for this type of the ITC 18(1), 2 for ITC 02 for 18 subsection 3, amalgamation merger. ITC 02 capital A, that we will discuss in some time. Transfer of the ITC to the distinct person within the same state. This is my answer, Geet. Now, let's complete 2-3 rules. Rule 40, 40, 41, 41A. The input tax credit claimed in accordance with the provision of 18 subsection 1. There are 4 clauses on 18(1). Mandatory registration, effect, voluntary registration, composition to regular, and then exempt become taxable. ITC claimed in accordance with the provision of 18(1) on the input held in the stock contained in semi-finished or finished goods, or the credit claim on the capital goods. You are entitled to claim the credit on capital goods in only 2 circumstances. That is, composition become regular, exempt become taxable. Then shall be subject to the following condition. If you are claiming the ITC on the capital goods, you need to reduce 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of invoice or such other document on which capital goods were received by the taxable person. The registered person, within a period of 30 days from the date of becoming eligible to avail the ITC under 18(1), the registered person, within a period of 30 days, the date become eligible to avail the ITC in 18(1), shall make a declaration electronically in the ITC 01 to the effect that he is eligible to avail the ITC as aforesaid, provided that any extension of the time limit, that is okay, of CGST will be considered as UTGST, SGST also. The declaration under the clause B shall clearly specify the details relating to the input held in the stock, input contained in semi-finished goods, or as the case may be, capital goods. Specify the details relating to the input held in the stock, semi-finished, finished goods on the day immediately preceding the date on which he become liable to pay the tax under clause A, that is mandatory registration. On the day immediately preceding the date of granting of registration in clause B, that is effect voluntary registration. क्या specify करना है? What we need to specify? The details relating to the input and capital goods. कौन से दिन का? If it is a mandatory registration, the day immediately preceding the date on which he become liable. If it is voluntarily, then preceding the date of the grant of the registration. If it is section 10 to section 9, then preceding the date from which he become liable to pay the tax under section 9, that is regular category. And in the clause D, exempt supply become taxable supply immediately preceding the date from which the supply is made become taxable. Now, duly certified by a chartered accountant or practicing chartered accountant or practicing cost accountant if the aggregate is more than 2 lakh. The input tax credit claim in accordance with the C&D shall be verified with the corresponding detail. एक second, Saminathan. That is the time limit for ITC 01, right? Or you have asked the question some time back. Probably I have not seen. Is it clear? Fine. Now you have asked the timeline for ITC 01. That is 30 days. Now the detail. Okay, got it. Because I have seen after some time, probably. The ITC claim in accordance with the clause C and the clause D shall be verified with the corresponding detail furnished by the supplier either in the GSTR 1 or 1A or GSTR 4 on the common portal. Amount of the credit in respect of supply the capital goods or plant and machinery for which the 18 subsection 6 then shall be calculated by reducing the input tax that we have already discussed, 18.6, calculated by reducing the ITC at the rate of 5% point for every quarter or part thereof. एक मिनट. What was the 18.6? Let me read again. In case of the supply of capital goods or plant and machine on which ITC has been taken, the registered person shall pay the amount equal to the ITC on the capital goods or plant and machinery reduced by such percentage or the tax on the transaction value of such capital goods or plant and machinery determined under section 15, whichever is higher. 18.6 require that you please calculate two value. The value number 1, ITC on the capital goods or plant and machinery reduced by such percentage. What is the percentage? If I read the rule 40 sub rule 2, it clearly says that in 18.6 it shall be calculated by reducing the input tax at the rate of 5% per quarter or part thereof. ठीक है? Then prima facie I can say the rule 40 sub rule 2, which is linked to the 18 subsection 6, gives the 5% per quarter. Correct? Now let me read the Samuru rule 41. A registered person in the event of the sale, merger, demerger, amalgamation, lease, transfer, or change in the ownership, furnish the details of the sale, merger, demerger, amalgamation, lease, transfer of business in ITC 02. So which form need to be furnished? Rule 41 says that you need to furnish ITC 02. requesting with a request for transfer of the unutilized ITC in the credit ledger to the transferee. So I am a transferor. I have sold by way of the merger, amalgamation, demerger, lease, transfer of the business to Mr. B. Then I can transfer the ITC through ITC 02. Provided that in case of the demerger, the ITC shall be apportioned in the ratio of the value of the asset of the new unit as specified in the demerger scheme. For the purpose of this rule, it is hereby clarified that value of the asset means the value of the entire asset of the business, whether or not ITC has been availed. In case of the demerger, ITC shall be apportioned in the ratio of the value of the asset to the new unit as specified in the demerger scheme. In calculation of the ratio, you will take the total ITC irrespective of the fact whether you have taken or not taken the ITC. Same practicing CA or cost accountant. Now there is no specific value. It says that transferor shall submit the copy of the certificate certifying that sale, etc., has been done with the specific provision of the transfer of the liability. Correct? Go to the 18 subsection 3. What it says? It says that with the specific provision for transfer of the liability, when there is a change in the constitution, sale, merger, demerger, amalgamation, the specific provision has to be there for transfer of the liability, which need to be certified by the chartered accountant or cost accountant. The transferee accept the details so furnished by the transferor, and upon such acceptance, the unutilized credit specified in the 02 shall be credited to the electronic credit ledger. ठीक है. 41 capital A. Transfer of the credit on obtaining separate registration for multiple places of the business within the state or UT. First question to all of you. Can I take more than one registration in the same state for same nature of business? Can I take two registration within the state for same nature of business? Answer is yes, allowed. Earlier, initial in July 2017, if I go back to see the provision, it was not permitted. It says that there has to be the different business vertical only, then only you will grant, you will be eligible to take new registration, additional new registration, one more registration. But concept of the business vertical has been omitted from the law, and therefore, if a person like to take new registration, he can for even additional place of the business for same nature of business. So I have the two location within Delhi. I can take one registration by declaring one location as a principal place and other location as an additional place. Alternatively, if I want, I can take two separate registration for each place of the business. Chitra, answer is yes. I hope it is clear, right? ठीक है. A registered person who has obtained the separate registration for multiple place of the business in accordance with rule 11. So there was an amendment in the rule 11 corresponding to this effect, and who intend to transfer either fully or partly unutilized ITC lying in the credit ledger to any or all of the new registered place of the business. So, Mr. A registered in Delhi. Now he has Delhi, let's say it is in place is ITO. He has taken one more registration in Delhi, let's say Kannada Palace. Then Mr. A for Delhi ITO, he can, if he intend to transfer the whole or part ITC to the new registration, then he has to furnish within 30 days ITC 02A electronically on the common portal, either directly or through the facilitation center, provided that ITC shall be transferred to the new registered entity in the ratio of the value of the asset. And value of the asset means whether you've taken the ITC or not taken the ITC. Can you transfer the ITC as per your own wish, as per your own amount, whatever you want? No. ITC shall be transferred to the new entities within the same state in the ratios of value of the asset which you have transferred. The newly registered entity shall accept the details in the ITC 02A of the ITC 02A, and on acceptance, the amount will be credited to the electronic credit ledger. So we have covered rule 43. One second. One rule is missed by me. That is rule 44. Let me go to the study material and try to cover the rule 44 from here. Manner of reversal of the credit under special circumstances. This amount of the ITC relating to the input held in the stock contained in semi-finished goods and finished goods held in the stock and capital goods held in the stock shall for the purpose of 18.4 and 29.5. 18.4 क्या था? Can anybody tell me 18.4? And what was the 29.5? What was the 18.4 and what was the 29.5? Yes. Here we can say regular opt for composition or taxable become exempt supply. Correct. And what is the 29.5? Anybody who knows regarding the registration? Cancellation of registration. Cancellation of registration means you need to reverse the ITC also at the time of the cancellation of registration if there is any unutilized ITC for both the purpose 18.4 and 29.5 cancellation. The amount of the ITC relating to the input held in the stock, semi-finished, finished, and capital goods for the purpose of 18.4 and 29.5 shall be determined in the following manner. Okay. For the purpose of the stock and input contained in the stock, ITC shall be calculated proportionately on the basis of corresponding invoices on which credit has been availed by the registered taxable person on such input. For capital goods held in stock, the ITC involved in the remaining useful life in month shall be computed on pro rata basis, taking the useful life as 5 years. Try to understand. Life is 5 years and one is 5% per quarter. Whether both are same, in totality both are same. 5% per quarter into 1 year, 4 quarter into 5 year. So it will come 100%. But if there is a part of the period, then probably the value would be different. For capital goods held in the stock, the ITC involved in the remaining useful life in month shall be computed on pro rata basis, taking the useful life as 5 years. So this is for 18.4 and 29.5. Amount as specified shall be determined separately for ICS. Where the tax invoice are not available, the registered person shall estimate the amount under sub rule 1 on the basis of prevailing market price. Amount determined under sub rule 1 shall form part of output tax liability of the registered person, and the details of the amount shall be furnished in the ITC 03. Now try to understand. ITC 03 is the reversal of ITC. Amount determined under sub rule 1 shall form part of the output tax liability, and the details of the amount shall be furnished in the ITC 03. Where such amount relate to any event specified in 18.4 and in GSTR 10, where such event relate to the cancellation of registration. Amount determined in sub rule 1 for equivalent stock or capital goods shall form part of output tax liability, and the details of the amount shall be furnished in ITC 03, where such amount relate to the 18.4 exempt composition. And if it is 29.5, then you need to furnish such a detail in the GSTR 10, that is final return. Whatever the amount you have furnished in sub rule 3, market price, when invoice not available, then you need to take the certificate from chartered accountant. Very, very interesting. Amount of the ITC for the purpose of 18.6. Now please note 18 subsection 6. Earlier we have read the rule 40 sub rule 2. Now rule 44 sub rule 6 also says that for the purpose of 18.6 relating to the capital goods shall be determined in the manner in sub rule 1 clause B. What we have discussed in the sub rule 1 clause B, that you will treat the life as 5 years. You will treat the life as 5 years. And to the extent of the remaining useful life, you need to calculate proportionately. So I think there is a one example is given. Let me see. Provided that where amounts are determined is more than the tax determined in the transaction value of the capital goods, the amount determined shall form part of the output tax liability and shall be furnished in the GSTR 1. Now try to understand this part I am reading. Amount payable on the supply of the capital goods or plant and machine on which ITC has been taken 18.6. Rule 40 sub rule 2 is also applicable for 18.6 and 44.6 is also applicable for section 18.6. We know that if the capital goods or plant and machine on which ITC has been taken, he must pay the amount higher of the below 2. ITC on capital was reduced by percentage 5% per quarter or part thereof from the date of invoice by, that is ITC pertaining to the remaining useful life in quarter. Remaining useful life in quarter. Tax on the transaction value. Under Rule 44, Sub Rule 6, ITC involved in the remaining useful life is reversed on pro rata basis, taking useful life as 5 years. Meaning thereby, suppose my remaining useful life is 3 year, 4 month. 3 year, 4 month. Then Rule 40 Sub Rule 2, or let's say remaining useful life is only 4 months. Remaining useful life is 4 months. Then if I will apply the Rule 40 Sub Rule 2, if I will apply the Rule 40 Sub Rule 2, I will apply that remaining useful life is 2 quarter. That is 10% remaining useful life. Geet, 4 month. So 5% per quarter or part thereof. So it means 1 full quarter and 1 more month. It will be considered as 2 quarter for the purpose of Rule 40 Sub Rule 2. But whereas if I will go by Rule 44 Sub Rule 6, it says 4 month. So thereby you might have the different value. Normally I can say in the note you must write this particular word. You apply the 5% per quarter to the extent you have used the you have used that asset, reduce the 5% per quarter. But in the note you must write this line: Rule 44(6) ITC involved in the remaining useful life to be computed in monthly basis. Rule 40 subroot part thereof from the issue of invoice. हाँ तो अभी अगर आपने okay, you mean to say that, okay, so fine, you calculate in this way that you have used the asset for 4 year and then 4 month. Okay, you assume the in other way that you have used the asset 4 year 4 month. Then you will take the total 5% per quarter. It means for how many quarter? You will take first year 4 quarter, second year 4 quarter, third year 4 quarter, fourth year 4 quarter, and fifth year 2 quarter. Four year 4 month. Let's say 4 year 4 month. Then you will reduce the ITC. You will reduce the ITC 20% for first year, 20% for second year, 20% for third year, 20% for fourth year, 80%, and then additionally 10%. Okay. But if you will go by Rule 44 sub Rule 6, you will reduce the ITC. You will reduce the ITC for 4 year 4 month only, meaning thereby you are additionally reducing the ITC for 2 more months in case of the Rule 40 sub Rule 2. That point I like to highlight. Correct now. So this will create the difference. This always will create the difference for 18 quarter, Sanjay, right? But agar मैं 18 quarter means कितना हुआ? 90%. 18 quarter means 90%, Sanjay. But if I will go by proportionate, 4 year 4 month, then it will be, by assuming the life as 5 year, then it will be the lesser amount, not 90%. That I like to highlight. So let's read. There is a one more clarification. एक बार इस clarification को read कर लेते हैं. Clarification on the ITC availability on the demo vehicle. हाँ, अरे thank you so much यार. Geet has calculated and amount comes to 86%. So I only like to highlight that If you go by rule 40 sub rule 2, you are reducing 90%. If you go by 44.6, you are reducing 87, 86%. In that case, it is different. Yes, it is different. You will have the different value. So you calculate by 5% per quarter, and also given in the note the rule 44 sub rule 6 ka reference. Clarification on the ITC availability on the demo vehicle. In case where such vehicle are capitalized in the books of accounts by the authorized dealer. Circular 231. ठीक है. Demo vehicle are used by the authorized dealer to promote the further sale of that motor vehicle, and therefore such vehicle appear to be used in the course of furtherance of business. What was the clarification? When registered person claiming the depreciation on the tax component of capital goods and plant and machinery. In case of the capitalization of demo vehicle, ITC availability would be subject to 16.3. It means assume that demo vehicle ka cost is 1 lakh, 10,000 is the tax. So you can take the ITC on the demo vehicle only when you will capitalize the 1 lakh and take the depreciation on 1 lakh. On 10,000, if you are also capitalizing and taking the depreciation ka benefit, in that case, ITC will not be available on 10,000 on demo vehicle. If subsequently sold, then authorized dealers shall have to pay the amount equivalent to section 18 subsection 6 read with rule 44 sub rule 6. Now I like to highlight one circular 96. We have read 18 subsection 3. Okay. 18 subsection 3 is in front of you, and I like to highlight only one line. Transfer of the business. Death of the proprietor. Mr. A is expired. Now his business is being carried on by Mr. B, his son. Will it get covered by 18 subsection 3? Answer is yes, it will get covered because it is change in the constitution due to the transfer of the business. It will get covered by 18 subsection 3, and therefore unutilized ITC in the business of Mr. A will get transferred through this mechanism to the B. For that purpose, circular 96 was issued. Just circular 96, I'll just tell you the crux. This is exactly same. So Mr. A will, legal heir of Mr. A will transfer the ITC 02 to the new person, Mr. B. If Mr. B is not registered, he has to take the registration. Then by login to Mr. A ka registration by the legal heir, the ITC 02 would be furnished. B will accept, and then the A ka registration would be surrendered. Okay. Similarly, the circular 133 has clarified that said formula for apportionment of the ITC shall be applicable for all forms of the business reorganized that result in the partial transfer of the business asset along with liability, and not just demerger. Here the value of the asset means value of the entire asset of the business, irrespective of the ITC has been availed or not. A registered person shall furnish the detail of the change in the constitution in ITC 2, submit the certificate from the practicing CA or cost accountant. For the purpose of apportionment of the ITC pursuant to the demerger, value of the asset of the new unit is to be taken at the state level, at the level of the distinct person and not at all India level. The transferor would be required to file ITC 02 only in those states where both transferor and transferee are registered. Point to be noted, ITC 02 will not be accepted if the transferor and transferee are in the different state, as per circular 133. The ratio of the value of the asset shall be applied to the total amount of unutilized ITC. The said formula need not to be applied separately in respect to the each head. Further, the said formula shall also be applicable for apportionment of the cess between the transferor and the transferee. The total amount of the ITC to be transferred to the transferee shall not exceed the amount of the ITC to be transferred referred point to above. What was the point to? The ratio of the asset shall be applied to the total amount of unutilized ITC consolidated including cess. जितना amount मुझे transfer करना है shall not exceed the amount of the ITC to be transferred. However, the transferor is at the liberty to determine the amount to be transferred under each tax head within this total amount, subject to the availability of the ITC. Take State Delhi, asset ratio of the transfer is 70%. Now, the total ITC balance of the transferor pre-apportionment as on the date of the filing of ITC 02, we will take the total value 50 lakh. 50 lakh का 70% कितना हुआ? 35 lakh. Now this 35 lakh, it is the total amount of the ITC transferred to the transferor, transferred to the transferee under ITC 02. This 35 lakh, he is at the liberty to decide the amount. But assume the ITC balance available. Sorry, no, it is not assumed. So this will be transferred. 18 subsection 3 says that total amount of the ITC to be transferred to the transferee, that is 35 lakh in our example, should not exceed the amount of the ITC to be transferred in the point number 2. However, the transferor is at the liberty to transfer under each head. कितना वो transfer करना चाहता है, it is the liberty. Take another example. MP 25, 25, 25, total 70. 70 का 40% asset has been transferred to the transferee. So 28 lakh to be transferred. 28 lakh to be transferred. Correct? Now the 28 lakh, he can transfer the full amount under I, balance amount C, some amount in S. It is complete liberty. Like here he has transferred the C and S and then balance I. Here he has transferred the complete I first and then C and S. No problem. The apportionment formula shall be applied on the ITC balance of the transferor as available on the date of the filing. For the purpose of apportionment of ITC, the ratios of value of the asset should be taken as on the appointed date of the demerger, as specified in the respective scheme for demerger. Therefore, for the purpose of apportionment of ITC, the ratio of the value of the asset taken as on that appointed date of the demerger should be applied on the balance of the transferor on the date of the filing of ITC 02. Clear? 41A we have already discussed. Now, this ISD part we will take in the last class. Next Friday. Next Friday, we will discuss all the provision of ISD. Now, let's move further to discuss the Excel. And today we will cover the revision of last class as well as today class. So we will take slightly higher, 15 to 20 minutes. We will take at the end. Now we are moving to the section 49. That is payment of tax. ठीक है. You all know the provision. Let's read some more rule also. And some section also. 14. These are the section 49. Now, section 49 talk about the payment of tax, interest, penalty, and other amount. Every deposit made toward the tax, interest, penalty, fee, or any other amount by internet banking, credit card, debit card, NEFT, RTGS, or by any other mode, as may be prescribed, shall be credited to the electronic cash ledger to be maintained in such manner as may be prescribed. ITC as self-assessed in the return of the prescribed on the other registered person shall be credited to the electronic credit ledger in accordance with section 41 to be maintained as may be prescribed. Okay. Every deposit, every amount available in the cash ledger may be used for making the payment toward the tax, interest, penalty, fee, or any other amount under the provision of this act or the rules made thereunder. Amount available in the credit ledger may be used for making the payment toward the output tax under this act or IGST in such manner, subject to such condition and restriction. Please note, the word restriction has been added later on. Anybody can tell me, is there any restrictions for utilization of credit ledger? Means that you can use only maximum this much part. Right, Sanjay? Right, Geet. Uh, right, Chitra. Now, Yogesh has asked one question. Can the ITC be used for making the payment of penalty and late fees? The answer is no. not allowed. In some time, let me reach to this particular provision of the section 49. You will find the specific provision wherein it is saying that it has to be paid in cash. Even RCM, right? Now, very interesting part. Before starting this, I will give you some example by which I will try to understand your concept, and then we will discuss this particular part. Okay, let's take a break of 10 minutes. We'll resume with case study and then we will discuss 49.5. Fine? Just 10 मिनट का गैप एग्जाम अशोक जी 10 मिनट का ब्रेक स्टार्ट कर दीजिए सर. ITC available in the credit ledger on account of IGST shall first be utilized toward the payment of IGST, and the amount remaining, if any, may be utilized toward the payment of C and S in that order. 49.5 giving the order that I will be used toward the I and then C and then S. Can I directly give to the S without giving to the C? Suppose there is no liability under I, but C there is a liability of 20, S there is a liability of 20. Can I directly give? He has only 20,000. Can I directly give 20,000 to S without giving to C? Okay. Can I give directly the amount to S instead of C? I does not have any tax liability. C and S has the liability of 20,000. I has the ITC of the 20,000. Can I give directly to S without giving to C? प्लीज कंफर्म, एक और वापस कंफर्म कीजिए, एक और वापस कंफर्म कीजिए. इवन योर आंसर इज सेम, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट प्लीज कंफर्म वंस. Even though your answer is same, no problem, but please confirm once. Sanjay got your answer. Saminathan got your answer. Geet, Yogesh, Chitra. Answer is no from Geet's side. Okay, no problem. What is then 49 capital A? What is section 49 capital A? What is section 49 capital A, 49 capital B, rule 88A? We'll read, and believe me friend, this discussion next 15, 20, 30 minutes is going to very nice discussion on which you will identify something new. Answer to this question, the question which I have asked to you, can I give directly to S without C? Yes, answer is yes. Why? It is because of the 49A and 49B. The answer to the previous question which I have asked to you, kya I can give the directly to the S without giving to the C? Yes, yes it can. So now this order is not relevant. Correct. This order, the order given by the 49.5A is now become irrelevant. We'll read this provision, but before that I like to read this 49.5. CGST shall first be utilized toward the payment of C and amount remaining, if any, toward the payment of I. So C has the ITC of 20,000. Assume that I ka liability is 20,000 and C ka liability is 20,000. So as per the clause B, C will give the amount to C first and remaining, if any, he will give to the I. Is that order applicable currently? Is there any change? We'll discuss. Can C give directly to I without giving to C, ignoring to the C? What would be the answer? That we will discuss in some time. Same thing for S. S also saying that amount toward payment of SGST, and then if remaining, then can be used to I. Question would remain same. S as the 20,000 ka ITC. There is a liability of I 20,000. There is a liability of C 20,000. There is a liability of S 20,000. As per the clause C, S will give the payment to S and amount remaining, if any, will give to the I. Then my question would be kya S, whether S can give directly the amount to I ignoring to the S, is it possible or not? Just wait for some time. These are the three interesting provision which you should understand, and also it is very important from exam point of view because there is a lot of order has been changed by these two sections. But for the time being, you will read sequence clause A, clause B, clause C, clause D, and clause E. What is the clause A? I will give to the I, then C, then S. What is the clause B? C will give to C and then I. What is the clause C? S will give to the S and then I. Proviso SGST shall be toward the payment of IGST only when the balance on C is not available for payment of integrated tax. Now one more restriction. C will give to the I, that is clear. C will give to the C first and then I. C will give to the C first and then I, it is written in the clause B. Similarly, S will give to the S and then I, it is written in the clause C. But the proviso says S will be used to I, S will be used toward the payment of I only when C becomes 0. We'll do one example, you can give the answer. Just tell me. You have the outward tax liability of I 10,000, C 5,000 and S 5,000. The IGST is 5, C is 5 and S is 5. Now tell me, I will give the amount of 5,000 to whom? This I will give the amount to whom? Believe me, will understand the provision in detail. Will understand the provision in detail and will learn new and interesting things, which is very useful for exam. मैं I का I 5,000 will be given to I first only. And after that, I does not have any amount. Now tell me, C 5,000 will be given first to C or first to I? Will be given first to C or first to I? Now for this discussion, let me open the chat for everyone. You all write in everyone. You all please post your reply by selecting everyone. So I would be able to see at one instance. Otherwise, I need to click everyone name to see the answer. अब एक बार रिक्वेस्ट है, आप सभी लोग ग्रुप में चैट करना, ठीक है? ग्रुप में सेलेक्ट द नेम एवरीवन. तो ideally C5 and then S5. This would be the normal sequence. Question comes. Is it possible that C will not give to C and C will give to I? Is it possible? Question number 1. C can directly give to I without utilizing to C. क्या C directly I को दे सकता है without utilizing C? Just wait for some time. Question number two in this manner. Is it possible Now this is okay. Is it possible that S give the amount to I by breaching two rule? Which two rule? Rule number one, that S will be give the amount to S first and then I. Rule number one. Rule number two, that he can give to the I only when C becomes 0. In this case, C becomes 0. That is okay. Now move to the question number 3. I have not completely answered. I have not completely answered. Here, I is 5,000. Let it be 5,000. IGST 15,000. CGST 15 and SGST 15. Question is, so this they have given 5. They have given 5. Now C has also balanced 10,000 and S has also balanced 10,000. Just give me the answer. They have the balance of 10,000 each. Right? Huh? Now, in this case, question 1 I have already asked. Question 1 I have asked whether C can give directly to I without giving to C. That question I have already asked, and you most of the participants have given the no. Question number 2, which I am asking here, can S give the amount to I prior to C? C, point to be noted, CGST has 10, SGST has 10. क्या ये 5,000 S दे सकता है? Can the 5,000 be given by S to the I without touching to the C? Now these question का answer is no as per 49.5. Try to understand this line. Try to understand this line. These two question which I have asked. Which question I have asked? Can C give the amount to I directly without giving the amount to C ka liability? Question number 1. Question number 2, can S give the amount to I without utilizing the amount lying in the C? Both question is clear to you now. Please confirm, both question is clear to you. Both question is clear to you, right? Friends, I have seen the question in the exam. In the recent exam, I have seen the question. What would be the answer? Now I am giving the answer in the two part. First part is very simple answer. No, sir, by reading the provision of 49.5. Correct. Now read 49 capital A, read 49 capital B, rule 88A, and then give the answer. Maybe your answer remains same, or maybe your answer can change. Correct? So now let me go to the 49.5. And I'll tell you that how you will attempt in the exams. We'll read the other provision in some time. The section 49, we have to read 49, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. We'll read in some time. If I will use the word this, if I will use the word this, what does it means? If I will use the word this 49, notwithstanding anything contained in 49, what is the meaning of this? Non-obstant clause. So, I can say that provision of the 49A will overrule or override the 49. In simple word, I can say 49 to be ignored and use 49A. Am I right? Can I say the 49 to be ignored and use the 49A ka provision? Can I say this? ठीक है. So, notwithstanding anything contained in 49, whatever the order you have discussed now, that become nil. Nil. From 1 Feb 2019, this does not have any relevance. Which one? Whatever you have discussed in the 49, I will give to the I, C will give to the C, S will give to the S will give to the I only when C becomes 0. Whatever the order you have discussed, going into the wastage. What is new order? Read. ITC on account of C or S. They are saying C ka ITC, they are saying S ka ITC. They are saying ITC on account of C, ITC on account of S will be utilized toward the payment of ICS only after the ITC of I. Only after the ITC of I becomes 0. Can C give to the C? Huh. Can C give to the I? Yes. Can S give to the I? Yes. Can S give to the S? Yes. No problem. It is imposing only one condition that makes sure I become 0. Make sure I become 0. Is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? My dear friend, whatever I will explaining the 49.5, 49 capital A and 49 capital V might be you have not read till now. आपने अभी तक इस तरीके से सेक्शन को नहीं पढ़ा होगा. I will also make the comparison with the GST portal, how the portal is behaving, and then you will give the answer in the exam. Now I am asking one important point. What is the problem in 49A? There is one problem in the 49A. What is that problem? What is the problem in the 49A? There is one big problem in the 49A. Can you tell me any problem in the 49A? Giving you 1 minute to think. Giving you 1 minute to think. If no, then just tell, sir, I am not able to identify. No issue, we'll move further. I'll read the 49B, 88 capital A, and then we'll come back to the 49. Chitra, it does not specify that C should be utilized for C first. Okay. Okay. Chitra, एक बार वापस पॉइंट कंफर्म करना. Can you please unmute and tell me?
I'm saying that it doesn't specify that CGST shall be first utilized for CGST only.
So that
Same
is the
goes
problem.
for SGST.
Is that problem?
No, I'm saying that might be the problem.
Fine, no problem. Nice point. But that is not the problem. They are removing every complexity, every order. They are removing every complexity, everything. But what is the problem, friends? The problem is, so tell me one thing, my friends. Can I say that complete section 49 has been made redundant by this provision? Yes, na. Can I say by 49A, every provision of the 49 made redundant? Can I say this? Meaning thereby, completely, sir, completely. Only I ka utilization has to be there. Does it mean can C give to the S and S give to the C? Answer is yes. By reading the 49A, it appears so. But kya state and center will allow to exchange the amount to each other? No. But read the 49, capital A, They are not giving any restrictions. Are they giving any restriction? No. Therefore, you need to read the 49B. It says that anything contained in this chapter and subject to the provision of the 49 clause E and clause F. Now read what is clause E and read what is clause F. Let me go back. Clause E says that CGST shall not be used for SGST. SGST will not be used for CGST. That is written in the clause E and the clause F. Whether 49 capital A has made this restriction? No, they have not made this. They have override that restriction also. But 49B has been made by saying subject to the provision. Okay, tell me one thing. What is the meaning of subject to the provision? What is the meaning of subject to the provision? Correct. It means we have to follow the provision of the 49.5 E and F will remain applicable. Therefore, we can say that C will give to the S? No. S will give to the C? No. You know, what is the problem? Problem is 49A says that no problem. 49A says that C and S can give to each other. But 49B says that C and S will not give to each other. Which one I will follow? Which one I should follow? A or B? Which one I should follow? 49A is keeping only one restriction. 49B is saying that we will follow the E and F. Which one should be used? What is the final conclusion? Can the C give to S or S to C? No, can't. But 49A say yes. 49A say yes. 49A, if I see, they are saying entire 49 is overridden. And 49B says that yes, 49. Very nice, Yogesh. Very nice. Very nice, Geet. Now, my main point which I like to compare, what is the difference between this and this? Will 49 be override 49A also? Will 49A override the 49B? एक बात बताइए 49A, will the 49A, listen my question, this is my question, will the 49A override the 49B? First question. Answer is no. Will the 49B override the 49A? Question number 2. The answer is yes. Meaning thereby, who is bigger? Who is bigger? 49B. Meaning thereby, because it override entire chapter and the 49A comes into the ITC chapter. 49B override the entire chapter and therefore it override 49, it override 49A also. Now, first we need to see the condition of 49B and then we have to see the condition of 49A. What is that? 49B says that you will follow E and F. So C can give to S, S can give to C? No. That two condition will prevail. Okay. What it says after that? Then it says government may prescribe Prescribe means, what is the meaning of prescribe? Just allow me 1 minute. What is the meaning of prescribe? It means rules. They have only specified one rule, that is rule 88A. We will see that rule. It is written in short here. The government may prescribe the order and manner of utilization of ITC on account of ICS toward the payment of any taxes. What does it mean? Try to understand. See, very, it means I can say to understand the utilization order in the current date is also very typical. How? Try to understand. First, you told me that 49B will override 49A. Just confirm once again, right? Just confirm once again, right? Next, we have also understood that 49B will not override clause E and clause F of section 49.5. In short, can you tell me what is the clause E and what is the clause F? In short, can you tell me what is the clause E and what is the clause F? शॉर्ट में बता दीजिए मेरे को. क्या सी एस को नहीं देगा, एस सी को नहीं देगा. पॉइंट नंबर 3, 49A says, sorry, what happened? 49A says that you can give the amount of C and S to any only after utilizing the I become 0. 49A क्या कहता है? You can give C to anyone. You can give the S to anyone provided I should become 0. Next point, 49B can prescribe the order and manner of utilization of ITC of IGST, utilization of ITC of CGST and SGST Read the rule 88A, which is being prescribed in the 49B. ITC on account of IGST. ITC on account of IGST shall be first utilized toward the payment of I. See, now what is the order being prescribed? They are very, very limited. They are saying ITC of IGST shall be utilized first toward the I only. Going back to the 49.5, can I say that rule 88A has used or repeated this part only? Has used or repeated this part only? Just confirm, yes or no? Agreed? Fine. And toward the payment of C and then S in that order, whether rule 88A has also been added this order. Just wait for a minute. Just wait for a minute. It says that then C and S, as the case may be, it says that I shall be utilized toward the payment of I, then C and S, as the case may be. What is the meaning of as the case may be? What is the meaning of as the case may be? Your choice. And at the end, you're saying in any order. In any order means, can I, after giving to I, can they give directly to S without being touched to C? That was my first question. Now answer is yes. Can they give to S? हाँ, क्या problem है? Rule 88A is being prescribed in the 49B, and 49B override the entire chapter. Therefore, whatever the order is being given by the rule 88A, we will follow that. Further, provided that ITC on account of C, S or U shall be utilized toward the payment of ICS only after the ITC available on I has been first utilized fully. What proviso says? Proviso says you can use the ITC of C, you can use the ITC of S. Now try to understand. Now they are saying ITC of C and ITC of S can be given to ICS, whatever you want, no problem, but only after the ITC of I becomes 0. In the main provision, it says the payment of ITC of IGST can be given to C, can be given to S, no problem, but first it has to go to I. That is okay. So they have specified the ICA order, but only partially. I can give to I first. After that, CS in any order. This is ICA order. Now they are saying C and S ka order. C and S can give to anyone whatever they want, but only after I becomes 0. Now in both the provision, if I will read together, then I can say following point. Point number one, I can say following point. Point number one, C and S cannot give to each other. Now I am reading the 49B along with its order, along with its provision, Rule 88A. पहला बात निकल के आया, first point comes, C and S cannot give to each other. Second point, I should become zero before utilizing anything. I should become zero before utilizing anything. I to ICS, CS to ICS, whatever you want you do, but I should become zero. I should become zero. Is that clear to all? Is that clear to all? Come back to the Circular 98. Circular 98 has clarified one problem and created one problem. Has clarified one problem and created one more problem. What is being clarified? This part is clarified. What is the meaning of order? Means if I'm giving to I, then C, then S, then it is become order, right? Or I'm giving to C, I, then S, it is become order. Order means the question was, suppose IGST has 20,000. They have the liability of I 12,000. Now what is the balance of IGST? The balance of IGST is 8,000. C also need, let's say 10,000. S also need 10,000. Meaning of order means I can give to first C or I can give first to S. What is the meaning of order? Order means first to C, then to S, or first to S, then to C. Will the word order, is it possible that I can give 2,000 to C, 6,000 to S? Is it possible that I can give to C that 4,000, S 4,000? Is it possible they can proportionately divide also? Order means पहले किसको देना है? Order means पहले किसको देना है? To whom first to be given? They are saying in any order. Does that in any order include the word proportion? Does the word any order include the word proportion? Circular 98 is saying yes. Means if C and S has the liability of, let's say, 8,000, 10,000, whatever, and I has 8,000, I can give to C first, nothing to S. I can give nothing to C, completely to S. Even I can give 3,000 to C, 5,000 to S, 4,000 to C, 4,000 to S, in any order, any proportion. The word proportion has been added by the Circular 98. Is that clarified? Is that clear to all? Read the question. We'll come back to the discussion again. IGS is nil. CGST का liability is 20, SGST का liability 20. I is 20, C is 12, and S is 15. Tell me where I have to write first. A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, F, G, H, I. Tell me first where I should write. First where I should write. I का liability is 0. It is not required. I have received only 3 answers. Correct. So I will give the amount to I first because I does not have any amount, no problem. Then balance to C or S in any order, any proportion. Can I say in any order, in any proportion? Matlab, it can give 10-10, it can give 5-15, it can give 2-18, whatever they want, it can. So let's say I am saying they have given 15,000 a year, 5,000 a year. They can give in any order. Can C give the amount to S? So 20 and 0. Is it also allowed? Is it also allowed? Just asking. Is it also allowed? Allowed. Can C give to the S? No. Can S give to the C? No. Now, what is the additional amount of C required? C का liability 20 था, C ने I से ले लिया 20, nothing is required. What is the closing balance of CGST? What is the closing balance of CGST? 12,000. Now go to the S. What is the liability of S? 20,000. Whether I become 0? Yes, I become 0. Can they take from S? They can take from S. Can I say in this case 5,000 has to be paid in cash? Can I say in this case 5,000 has to be paid in cash under the SGST head? Meaning thereby this order is not the appropriate order for utilize. Well, see, as per the law, there is no problem, but you can manage in better manner. How I can use in better manner? I can give 15,000 to and then 5,000. I can also give in this manner. Na? I can also give in this manner. Planning is not correct, right? Samyanathan, absolutely correct. Not minimum. Correct, correct, correct. I can give in this manner also. Na? Yes, I can give. Now try to see how much amount C require. How much amount C require? 5. They will take from C. What is the balance tax liability? Nil. S need 20. They have taken 5 from I. What is the balance amount that need to be paid in S? Any liability to be paid in cash? No. This would be the proper manner, proper better manner. Law ko koi problem nahi, but you can use also. What we have learned in this, we have learned this, that this I, what is the entire matrix? Let me tell you, entire these 49A, B, 88A, circular 98, these 4 things I am reading. I has to give the first to I. C cannot give to S, S cannot give to C. We'll come to this point. We'll come to this point. We'll come to this point, Sanjay. This is second. I can give to C or S in any order, any manner, any proportion. First, this one. Then we have learned second rule. Third point, I can say they can give, I can give to S in any order, any manner. Here, any manner. Here, any manner. Try to understand this. I'll tell you one problem and then I will come to the conclusion. This is the last discussion for this point. According to the rule provision which we have discussed, can C give the amount to I without giving to C? 100% sure, na? Or is there any ambiguity? 100% sure, right? Can C give the amount to I? Ha, that is okay. Only one condition, that the balance under I should not be there. इसका balance 0 होना चाहिए. Then they can give to I, C, whatever they want. No problem. Absolutely correct. But the problem is circular. Now this is a screenshot of the circular. If an exam it will come, you have to write in the assumptions. You write in the working note. You have to mention somewhere what he has given. See. Circular says that, see, that first clear, second is clear, correct. Third, they are saying ITC on account of I to be completely exhausted mandatorily, correct. But after that, C can be given to C first and then I. This order is not in the law. This order is not in the law. This order is not in the law, but it is being mentioned in the circular. Are you getting my point? Sir, why not in the law? Why not in the law? Go now. Go to the section 49 capital A. What it says, that ITC of C and S can be given in any manner. Can be given to I, can be given to C, can be given to S. After the ITC is I become 0. Only one condition. Only one condition. If I will read the 49 capital A, then I can say after reaching the third point, I become 0. After reaching the third point, I become 0. Yes. Then C can give to anyone as per its own choice. It cannot be order. No. Clear? ये वाला बात clear हुआ ना? This order is not in the 49A. Now let's analyze the 49B. Now let's analyze the 49B. 49B says that only they have given the power of prescriptions. What is the prescribed? It is the IGST. I am not reading. I have to read the ITC of C and S. Toward the payment of ICS only after the ITC available on account of I has been fully utilized. What the rule 88A says? It says that I should become 0, then you can use C and S toward the payment of I, C and S. Is that written in that order? क्या इसने order लिखा word? नहीं. As the case may be, whatever you want. Meaning thereby, please highlight this point in the exam. What is the point? The circular, see now the S, same problem. S has the ITC and I become 0. Then also circular says that S will give the amount to S first and then to I. Sir, where this order is being written? This order is being mentioned in the 49 subsection 5 clause C. But after 49A, after 49B and rule 88A, the order which being prescribed in the rule 88A, is this remain available in the law? No. Is the 49C, 5C, is remain available in the law? No. In my understanding, no, it is not available. But in the circular, it is written. So in the exam, if it comes, you will follow the order which is written in the 49A and 49B. Also, somewhere in the assumption or in the note, you can mention, however, the circular 98 is saying this. I have created the confusion or I have clarified the order and manner? How to read the law, how to understand the payment mechanism is really important. I can say that you will find a lot of students, you will find a lot of people does not have the clarity in the 49, 49A, 49B, 88A, Circular 98. This is from my side. Any point you like to highlight, you can. Now, Sanjay, you asked, na? You asked that point, right? GST wala, na? GST, and I will discuss that also. I will discuss that also. Yes. They can remove all 49, 49A, B, and C inside the clarification only in the law. See, why? How to draft the law that we do not have any control, but we can understand. We can understand, right? Geet saying it appears the 49 is still applicable only with condition that IGST must fully exhausted. Yes. Nee. With circular, it appears that section 49.5 is still applicable with condition. See, that one condition, and second condition you can also say E and F. C will not give to S, S will not give to C. That is also applicable, right? So that is the part. Now I am coming. See, can circular override the law? Saminathan, I'm asking to you, can circular override the law? Can circular override the law? Answer is no. I do agree that there is a clarification. And based on that, portal is designed. Sanjay, based on that, portal is designed. So you will find that might be the portal is not working in line with the law because of that circular. I'm not sure. I have not utilized the same, but probably yes, that may be the case. The only point which I like to highlight that the order given in the law will prevail even beyond the circular. So when the exam will ask the question to you, you will follow the 49A, B, and that rule. Nothing else. In the note, you can clarify, in the note or in some assumption, you can clarify that however the different method or see, question comes ITC of CGST. And you have utilized the I fully. And after that, there is a liability of I, there is a liability of C. You can give the answer that C has the choice to give C first and then I, or C has the choice to give I first then to C. There is no order and manner prescribed for utilizing the ITC of C after exhausting the I. Correct? However, in the circular 98, still they are prescribing the order that first C give to C and then give to I. So you can write in your manner whatever you want, but you should clarify both the things. Is that work? Will that work? Geet, Chitra, Samyanathan, Sanjay, everyone get clarity, right? Got the clarity. Got the clarity, right? I say it's superb. It's superb to understand this. Utilize. See, whenever I will ask this question to any student or anybody, and I'm not asking this, I'm not saying only student. It may be practitioner. It may be the people who are working in the big organization. Most of the time, I will receive the answer that S cannot give the amount to I without C being used. You cannot give. I'm receiving this answer, and you will also receive the same answer from anybody. Most of the people you will. But whether 49A, which override entire 49, whether 49B, which override the entire chapter, whether rule 88A, which provides or says the order of C and S has this limitation? No. Considering that S can give to I by ignoring the C also. C can give to the I first, ignoring the C ka liability. Only for your understanding, in this example, I can say, I'm not sure that whether it is correct or not correct, but I have taken one, I have arranged one screenshot from students only. Somebody has given this particular or professional has given. In this example, just what I like to highlight, try to see that SGST ka liability was some 8 crore. Sorry. This is ITC. Try to see the SGST ka ITC has been given to S. They have like almost 18 करोड़ कितना ऐसा कुछ है ना, 18 करोड़ का ITC है under the S, and liability of S is only 8 crore. Ideally, if I go by the 49, then first it has to be given to S. And then only it goes to C, it goes to I. But see, in this case, they have paid out of 18 crore, they have only used 1 crore toward the S. Maximum part they have given to I, and they are discharging the S ka liability in cash. You got my point? Even portal are behaving in this manner. You can add this point also. Ki S can give the amount to I, ignoring the S first. It is even possible by the portal. One situation I have clarified. I don't know the situation of this. I hope it is clear. Correct? So let's take another break and then we will move to the balance part of section 49. Correct? We'll take the another break of 10 minutes and we'll resume, but it could be possible that it will be properly planned by the taxpayer. See, taxpayer can do the planning only for I ka ITC. See, Sanjay, absolutely correct. I'm only saying what is the requirement of the law. I'm only saying, is there being restriction in the law? That part I need to clarify, which I have explained in my way. ठीक है ना? So let's take a break off. We'll resume at 9:15. We'll start the balance part and then we'll go to the quick round of question answer. Sanjay, Saminathan, Chitra, Geet, everyone. Yogesh. You write one homework for next class and that you will answer that is related to ISD. My request to everyone that you remind me in the next class and take the answer from you first before explaining the provision of ISD. You write the question. You write the question and then confirm that yes, it is written, and then I will start the discussion. एक बार confirm करो so that I can start. Complete. ठीक है. Sorry, you remove the word is. Okay, okay, okay. कुछ typing mistake है क्या? Let me see. These two questions I have mentioned and remind me. So first you will tell the answer for these two questions and then I will explain the provision in relation to that. डन, ठीक है। Next class will be mainly we are left with the IST provision only, and then we will discuss the practical problem. 49(7) says that all liability of taxable person under this act shall be recorded and maintained in the electronic liability register. Every taxable person shall discharge his tax and the other due in the following manner: self-assessed tax of the previous tax period, self-assessed tax for the current tax period, any amount payable in 73-74. Every person who has paid the tax on goods or services or both under this act, unless the contrary is proved, be deemed to have passed the full incidence of the tax on the recipient. What does it mean? That basically pass the full incidence of the tax to the recipient. That is one condition for taking the refund. When you read the refund chapter now, you will discuss this condition that incidence should be borne by the supplier who is taking the refund. If the incidence has been passed to the recipient, then supplier can't take the refund. This concept is called as unjust enrichment. And the relevant provision to be drawn from 49 subsection 9 only. Chicken. A registered person on the common portal transfer the amount of the tax, interest, penalty, fee, or any other amount lying in the cash ledger to the cash ledger for same GST number or another GST number of that distinct person. If I have the amount under ICS within my GST number, I can transfer this amount to any other head, minor head and major head. Second, I can transfer this amount to the another GST number under the same PAN. But S cannot be transferred. You can transfer I, you can transfer C. But no such transfer is allowed if registered person has any unpaid liability in the credit ledger. Where any amount has been transferred to the cash ledger, under this act, same shall be deemed to be deposited in the said ledger. Notwithstanding anything contained, subject to condition restriction, specify the maximum portion of the output tax liability or may be discharged through electronic credit ledger. Okay, explanation for the purpose of this act: the date of the credit to the account of the government in authorized bank shall be deemed to the date of the deposit in the cash ledger. So the day when you deposited the amount in the cash ledger, it will be deemed that government has received the credit of that amount. Tax due means tax payable, and other due means interest, penalty, fee, or other. Rule 86A. Rule 86A says that commissioner or an officer authorized by him in this behalf, not below the rank of the assistant commissioner, having that the word reason to believe must come in the exam. Whenever you are writing the answer, suppose, then this word has to be there, reason to believe. ITC available in the credit ledger has been fraudulently availed or ineligible if the officer not below the rank of the assistant commissioner has reason to believe that ITC available in the credit ledger has been either fraudulently availed or not eligible. Why not eligible? ITC has been availed on the tax invoice or any other document issued by the supplier who is not exist or not conducting the business from the declared place. I being a recipient, I have the ITC in my ledger. My commissioner, assistant commissioner can block this amount if he has reason to believe that this credit has been availed on the basis of tax invoice which is issued by Mr. A, and Mr. A does not exist the business, or he does not doing the business, or he is not conducting the business from the declared place of the business. Correct? This point, this point, this point. 3 point. Non-receipt of the goods, tax not paid, and third is not having the tax invoice. These three conditions are basically, I can say, the condition of 16.2. Big question to all of you. I have highlighted three conditions. Can you tell me what are the balance condition of 16.2 which is not there in the 86A? हमने 16.2 में we have read 5-6 condition. Out of this three I have highlighted here. Now tell me the balance three. In short, just one or two sentence, one or two word would suffice. Payment not made by the supplier is written. Is written, na? The one point which is correctly mentioned. Yes, Samyanathan, correct. One condition, you have to mention three conditions which is left not written in this 86A, out of which one is from GSTR 3B. Samyanathan, by the supplier or by the recipient? Samyanathan, you were there in the class probably, if I'm not right, or you may have joined the class that late. We have concluded that GSTR 3B by the recipient, not by the supplier. And in that class, I have discussed in detail why not supplier, why recipient. Please watch that recording. Without receipt of goods, it is already there, right? So section 38, it is not there. Correct. Rule form 3B is not there. And third is, what is third? One is still missing. 16.2, there are 6 conditions. Out of the 6 condition, 3 is mentioned. Yes, give. GSTR to be furnished by the supplier in the R1 and communicated to the recipient. May for the reason to be recorded in the, and then recipient is found non-existence. So total 5 things are there in the rule 86A. Supplier found non-existence or recipient found non-existence, and the 3 condition: tax not paid by the supplier, no invoice, no goods or services received. Total 5 situations are there where the officer has the right, if they are reason to believe, then they can record in writing and not allow the debit to such credit in the credit ledger. So they will not take the amount from the credit ledger and deposit the same in the government. No, they do not have the right. They have the right amount will still lying in my ledger only. Just they will block my debiting part. They will just block my debiting part. Debiting means payment or receipt. Debiting means payment from credit ledger or credit to the credit ledger, or receipt to the credit ledger. Increase in the balance or decrease in the balance? It will be the decrease in the credit ledger. See, amount lying in the credit ledger, government will disallow the debit. It means not allow the debit means I cannot use this amount for my payment or discharge of the tax liability. Debit means I cannot decrease the balance. I cannot use the balance of the credit ledger. Then again, after the expiry of the period of 1 year, the restriction shall cease to have the effect. Further, the commissioner, upon satisfying the condition disallowing the debit, no longer exists, allow that debit. This is 86A. There is one CBC order, and which talks about if the amount not exceeding 1 crore, then deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner. Amount exceeding 1 to 5, then additional or joint commissioner. Amount exceeding 5 crore, then principal commissioner. Order by the officer to disallow the debit from the credit ledger will be passed by these designation. Amount is serious, amount is high, then senior officer are having the power. Rule 86B. 86B says that you cannot use the 1% amount lying in the credit ledger. You can use maximum 90% amount lying in the credit ledger. 1% has to be paid in cash. When? You all know, then tell me. When the 86B 1% का condition be applicable to a supplier, ये 86B का condition कब applicable होगा? $50 lakh is the sale or GST? 50 lakh is the sale or GST? $50 lakh is the sale or GST? Answer is GST. Or sale? Answer is sale or GST? Answer is 50 lakh is the. Sanjay, that is okay, but I mean to say, is it okay? Okay, you have added one more point. See this. 50 lakh is the sale. Taxable supply, value of the taxable supply, 50 lakh. It means, assume that I am in the bracket of 5%. I am into the bracket of 5%. Then what will be the tax liability of the 50 lakh? 25,000. 25,000. How much amount I need to pay? So you calculate and tell me. If my turnover is 60 lakh, I fall into the bracket of 18%. You calculate and tell me to check your understanding. My sale is 60 lakh and rate of the taxes is 18%. How much amount I need to pay in cash? So liability comes to 10 lakh 80,000 and it's 1%. So that will be 10,800. This person would require to pay the amount in cash. All are correct. There are some situation when this 1% 86B ka restriction will not be applied. Tell me. There are 4 situations where this restriction will not apply. Tell me when. Correct. Correct. Let's read these conditions. The said person or the proprietor, cut or managing director, any of its two partner, whole-time director, member, the managing committee, association, board of trustee, as the case may be, have paid more than 1 lakh rupees as income tax in each of the last 2 financial years. If the registered person has received the amount more than 1 lakh of refund in the preceding financial year on account of unutilized ITC. So when you go to the refund, then you will understand that for taking the refund of ITC, there are two clauses, clause 1 and the clause 2. Clause 1 is basically for exporter, zero rated supply. Clause 2 is for inverted duty structures. If the more than 1 lakh rupees has been taken, a refund, then no issue. Then fourth condition is he has paid already the liability of more than rupees 1 lakh, more than 1%, not 1 lakh, more than 1% in cash up to the said month in the current financial year. Or the registered person is government of department, PSU, local authority, statutory body, etc. So from my side, today discussion is completed. It's over to you for any question you have. And last 10, 15, 20 minutes, we have 20 minutes, so we will discuss the quick round of the question answer, whatever we have discussed. So almost we have completed our ITC chapter entirety, except ISD provision that I will take in the next class. Okay, so you do not have any question, let me start. I can ask any question, whatever it comes to in my mind. Input means only goods or services also being added. Input means only goods or services is being also added. Only goods, because word service has been specifically written, added. If it is a service, then they are calling it input service. But for goods, they are calling as input. So input include capital goods also or not? Answer is no. Input means other than capital goods. Input means other than capital goods. Time limit of 16.4 is not applicable in which cases? You think and then tell me. Time limit of 16.4 is not applicable in which cases? Very important question. Answer, quick answer. No. You have probably understood in different manner. I am repeating again. Whatever the answer that you are giving the answer that when there is no requirement of payment within 180 days. Geet and Sanjay, whatever the answer you have given, it would be for the question if I ask that when there is no requirement to make the payment within 180 days and therefore there is no requirement of reversal of ITC, even if the payment is not made, then your answer is correct. My question is different. When the time limit of 16.4 is not applicable. Correct answer. There could be the three possibility. There could be the three possibility which I can recall. There could be the three possibility which I can recall. First is 16 subsection 6. If my registration being revoked, but at the time of cancellation I was eligible, then even revocation is after 16.4, I would be entitled to take ITC. No. Samanathan. 9. I need something different. When time limit of 16.4 is not applicable, you can take the ITC even after the time limit of 16.4. No one has given the answer. Answer is Rule 37 and Rule 37A. If any ITC which is reversed under Rule 37, non-payment to the supplier within 180 days, whenever I will pay to the supplier, I can reclaim even beyond the time limit of 16. Second, ITC which was reversed because supplier has not filed the 3B, then I can reclaim the ITC whenever supplier pay the tax, even after the time limit of 16. Seventeen subsection 1 and 2 says that ITC need to be reversed if it is non-business exempt. Whether zero rated supplies is considered as exempt supply or taxable supply. It is considered as a taxable supply. Absolutely. The banking company has two options. They are also involved in the exempt supply, but they have the two options for reversing the ITC. What are the two options? Yes, the two options are either they have to reverse on actual basis by calculating Rule 42-43, or they can reverse straightforward 50%. Whether interest on long-term loan advances, which is exempt supply, will attract the reversal of the Rule 42-43. Generally, I'm asking, if I'm a businessman of, let's say, trader or something, if I'm receiving the interest, do I need to reverse my common ITC? Because interest is an exempt supply. Now, let me activate that the chat only to the host and co-host. I have made the activation of the chat host and host. You can give the answer to me only, by which all can participate. If I am receiving the interest generally, then will the reversal be attracted? Answer is generally no. But if it is a banking company, then interest would be considered as exempted. Apart from interest, there would be one more transaction, which is exempt supply, but it does not attract reversal as per the Rule 42-43. There is one more transaction of exempt supply, which is exempted, but still not attract the reversal as per the Rule 42-43. Very nice. Geet has given the correct answer. Waiting for other. Duty credit is correct. Correct answer is duty credit is correct. If the bank has followed the rule of, let's say 17, let's say Rule 38, 50%, can he change in the next tax period, next month, next quarter, or next year only? Is there any liberty to the bank, the option once they have exercised of the 50%, can they change month to month basis, or year to year basis, or once fixed lifetime they need to reverse 50%? Cannot change in the same financial year. Yes. Correct. It will be applicable for the entire financial year. Exempt supply has been widened for the purpose of reversal. 17 subsection 3 says that some more transaction will also be treated as exempted supply. Can you help me? Which all transactions are also being added as an exempt, which otherwise not exempt? Why? Very nice, Keith. Right answer क्या है? Just tell me. Scope of the reversal of ITC as per the rule 4243 has been widened because the meaning of exempt supply has been widened by 17.3, which all transactions are added or treated as an exempted and which attract the reversal. Outward RCM or inward RCM? Everyone please tell, is it outward RCM or inward RCM? First is outward RCM, sale of securities, land and building, sale of the warehouse goods before filing the bill of entry for home consumptions. Anybody who knows that what is the value of the security will be considered for the purpose of this reversal? कितना value लेना पड़ेगा in case of security? In case of the security, what could be the value? 1% of sale value. Normally, I know that motor vehicle, if I will purchase, the ITC is blocked. Tell me the situation when the ITC of the motor vehicle be eligible. One or two situations. ITC of the motor vehicle will be available. एक मोटर व्हीकल मैंने परचेस किया, when you will give the ITC of that motor vehicle? More than 13 seater, transportation of goods. If up to 13, then used for the purpose specified in the clause, like further supply, etc. Transportation of passenger, training, driving, etc. Which three type of the insurance are blocked in the 17.5? Which three type of the insurance are blocked in the 17 subsection 5? The first is life insurance, then second is health insurance. Third, I am not satisfying. You are mentioning something third, but that is not correct in my view. Please give the answer. So, what is the insurance which is blocked? It is car insurance. I have taken the general insurance for my building. Factory building. Will the ITC be allowed or not? Allowed. It is also the general insurance, sir. It is also the general insurance. Then the general insurance is not blocked. If it is blocked only when it is used for the ineligible. Absolutely correct. Motor vehicle, vessel, and aircraft. Yes, very nice. Very nice answer. Geet. CSR expenditure, ITC allowed or not? CSR expenditure, ITC allowed or not? There are the four block. Answer is block. There are the four situation as per section 18 subsection 1 wherein I would be allowed to take the ITC in the special circumstances. There are the four category of the 18.1 wherein I can take the ITC on four categories of the transactions are there or four situations are there where I would be allowed to take ITC by filing the ITC 01. Tell me what are the four situations? Quickly tell me one or two. That okay. Correct. Mandatory, voluntarily, composition to regular, and exempt to taxable. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. These are the four situations. I can take the ITC on the capital goods also in which of the situations? Out of the four, I would be permitted to take the ITC on the capital goods also in all four, or in which situation I would be entitled to take the ITC on capital goods also if correct. Composition to regular or exempt to taxable. In case of the merger amalgamation, which form need to be filed to transfer the ITC? The answer is ITC 02. What is the ITC 02 capital A? What is the ITC 02A? What is the ITC 02A? Transfer of credit to distinct person within the same state. For transferring the merger amalgamation, filing the ITC 02, whether can the recipient be from another state? In case of the merger amalgamation, whether recipient can be belongs to other state also? The answer is as per circular 133. Remember this word. As per circular 133, ITC2 can be filed if recipient is within the state. If recipient is from another state, he cannot transfer the ITC through ITC2. That is a problem being created by the circular 133. Coming to the utilization order. Last 2 minutes, we will discuss the utilization order. Now, there are what are the conditions, restrictions available for utilization of ITC? You tell me in your word. There is a one minute ka task. You tell me in your. What are the conditions restrictions is there on the utilization of ITC? What are the condition order restriction is there? Combining all the provision 49, 49A, 49B, circular 98, rule 88A, क्या क्या condition है now for utilization of input tax credit as per the law? Very big question. Should I divide in part? Or okay, tell me whether C can give the amount to S. Can the C give the amount to S? Oh, very nice gift. Whether C can give the amount to S. Can S give the amount to S if there is ITC and IGST? S can give the amount to S even if there is a balance in the IGST. Can the S ka ITC be allowed to used for SGST ka liability even if the IGST has the balance? IGST ITC has the balance. No. No. Because what is the rule? That I should be completely exhausted. Then only C and S can used for C and S ka liability. I would suggest, what is the order? Whether C has to give first to C and then I. Is this order available? Is this order applicable till current date also? Is this order available in the law? C has to give first to C then I. Is this order available in the law? Is this order available in the law? Answer is no, sir. It is not available in the law, but it is still there in the. It is still there in the. It is still there in the. It is still there in the circular 98. It is still there in the circular 98. Remember always. I can give the amount to I first, then only C to S, C and S, or it can give the amount to C and S without giving to I. Can I give the amount to C and S first without giving the amount to I? No, it is not possible. This is only order I can say I has to give to I. S has the ITC. S has the liability. I has the liability. C has the ITC. So I has the liability. There is no ITC in the I. C and S both have the ITC. Can S give the amount to I first without using the C ka ITC? Whether S can give the amount to I first, ignoring the C ka ITC. No, Samanathan understanding is not correct. C to C, no. C to I can also be given. C to C can also be given. There is no order. S to I can be given. S to S can be given as per your own choice. There is no order. Only I to I has the order. Then C to C has one restriction that I should be 0. So this is not so simple, whatever you have written. ठीक है? So my question was, S as the ITC, can S give directly to I without using the C ka balance? Yes, possible as per the law. Portal, there is a problem. Portal, there is a problem because of that circular, I think, because of that circular, which has the some order prescribed the order. Okay. So I have completed my class today. Next class, we will start with the question that I've given to you, and then we will read the ISD provision That's it. And in the last, we will try to do some case study, some question answer. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you may ask. Otherwise, we can complete our today class. Okay. Thank you. Goodbye to all of you. And we'll meet on the next class. Bye. Saminathan, you write proper and then we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Bye. Goodbye. Yeah, session over. You may conclude.